Able Kumanov.
Keep quiet.
Honorable members, leadership, we have met, we have taken into consideration all the issues. So let me invite the majority leader and the minority leader to confirm the discussion we've had so that we can move on smoothly. So, minority leader, if you can.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you rightly said, we've had some engagement on the way forward in this chamber. And we've agreed that the outstanding business for today must be taken in view of the assurances that the matters in issue will be ferried to the appropriate quarters, all in the name of democracy, for the right thing to be done. Mr. Speaker, that said, I want to assure you, the Chair, and my respected colleagues to your right, that for the rest of the day, we will discharge our democratic rights in this chamber by supporting government business. I shall conclude, however, by expressing a displeasure on a matter that nearly marred the beauty of our engagement as a parliament. Mr. Speaker, this is a house of brains. This is a house where we apply knowledge to resolve issues. We do not use brow to resolve issues. My respected colleague, Honorable Nogbe of Ashama, sought permission from his leaders, and I'm happy that the respected majority leader said no to his request. That leader, allow us to beat them. Who are you going to beat? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, never, never, ever. I want my respected colleague Nogbe to know, never, ever should it be that he would open his mouth to say he would beat somebody in this house. He is gaining notoriety for this. We are all brothers and sisters in this chamber. When we are unhappy about something, we express that displeasure, but we will not attack anybody. We are law abiding. So I will plead with my respected friend Nogbe that in future, when there are such things, he should know how he would make certain utterances. I will not accept it, but today, because of the engagement with my respected colleague, who is also my senior, the majority leader remains my senior, and I respect him, and I respect the chair, and our side will respect your side, all in the interests of Ghana. But this issue of threats, never again should it happen. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues on the other side, the leadership, and our side have had some discussions, and we have been briefed adequately about the concerns that have agitated friends on the other side. I have committed myself to following up on those issues, and I'll report back to my friend opposite in due course. I believe that with that understanding, we should proceed to deal with the items number 10 on the order paper, but then also we want to combine two reports, that is 5 and then 6. And so we crave your indulgence to suspend the applicable standing orders so that he can lay and then take the procedural motions captured in addendum of the order paper, which is procedural motion number 2 on the order paper, but before then be permitted to lay the report number 6 under item 1 of the order paper addendum. So, Speaker, I so move.
Very well. No, I'm not giving you the floor, please. Honorable members, let me invite you to page 2, item listed 9, motion by the chairman. We have to. You should. Okay. Well, honorable member.
Right, Honorable
Let's
Speaker.
first and foremost turn to the addendum paper.
Very well.
So, the chairman of the committee, you may do the presentation. That is item 1 on the addendum paper.
Sit reports of the Appointment Committee on His Excellency the President's nomination for appointment as a minister.
Honourable members, the report has been duly laid. The report is to be distributed to honourable members. Yes. We will take item 2 on the addendum together with item 9 on the main paper together.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity to take item numbered 9 on page 2 of today's order paper and item numbers 2 at page 1 of the order paper addendum. Right, Honorable Speaker, these are procedural motions. So, Mr. Speaker, I move that notwithstanding the provision of Order 1041 of the standing orders, which requires that a motion shall not be debated until at least 2 sitting days have elapsed after the notice to move the motion is given, the motion for the adoption of the 5th and the 6th report of the Appointment Committee on His Excellency the President's nominations for appointment as ministers be now moved today. Mr. Speaker, I so moved the motions jointly.
Honorable members, the motion listed 9 in the main paper and 2 in the addendum paper has been moved by the chairman of the committee. Now we are looking for one to second.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honorable members, the first deputy minority whip has seconded the motion. Now the motions are before the House for consideration. But since there is a procedural motion, I'll go ahead and put the question. All those in favor that the motion listed 9 in today's order paper and 2 in the addendum paper, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The procedural motion is hereby adopted. Now we take motion 10 in today's order paper as well as motion 3 in the addendum paper together. Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to move motion numbered 10 at page 3 on today's order paper together with motions numbered 3 at page 1 of today's order paper. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that this Honorable House adopt the 5th and the 6th reports of the Appointment Committee on His Excellency the President's nomination for appointment as a minister. Right, Honorable Speaker, I so moved the 2 motions jointly. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved. Any seconder? Are you seconding?
Speaker, I wish to second it. However, there is a matter that we have to raise. Speaker, I think that we have peace and we are okay with that. The report, many of our colleagues, Chairman, before you do that, many of our colleagues don't have copies of the report. I want to plead with the chairman. No, well, if it's loaded, they've not been told. It's just me, senior. Speaker, in my other world, when I was there, I go down to the printing room. It's a fact. I go down to the printing room to facilitate. I want to plead with our colleagues. We have first-time MPs who wants to clear their throat. The honorable member at the back there, he had whispered into my ear that he wants to clear his throat. They don't have copies. Chairman, today is Friday. We want to help and leave the chamber ASAP. We do not have copies of the report. Signal the clerks to make copies. Speaker, this is an important business. We want to... Speaker, we have no objection. Indeed, they don't have copies. I'm speaking for them. They are now sharing. No.
Right, Honorable Speaker.
Speaker, just to draw their attention. You see, there is a way the majority chief whip, if I get your attention, you are yet to be baptized. You know that. I have not baptized you. Speaker, I have not baptized my good friend. Go down to the printing room.
Go there. Tell him.
Why? Without the report, we will not second the motion. And they will not speak in support. Go down to the printing room and get us copies of the report.
You have been an armchair. He's an armchair.
The leader is seated, and these are the things you should do to enable the leader of the house to function. You are not doing it.
He's making himself an armchair.
Please, get us copies of the report.
He's making himself an armchair whip.
Mr. Speaker, please, this is a very important matter. Mr. Speaker, the reports have been procured and distributed. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, now we have gone digital. The reports have been uploaded. So, Mr. Speaker, and every member, even the order paper, Mr. Speaker, even the order paper is displayed. So this attempt to say that reports are not available.
Honorable Majority,
reports are here.
Chief Whip. Honorable Majority Whip, please.
Speaker, the report for the records. I am an environmentalist, and I would have wished that we have soft copies of this report. The ICT department had given a prior notification that the report will be uploaded. All of us, for the benefit of the doubt, look on your screen and check if the report has been uploaded. The report has not been uploaded. We want to help you pass your nominees. You are not helping yourself. Majority Leader, you are not helping you. You are not helping you. The Chief Whip is not helping you. Chief Whip, you are always seated. No, it's not there. Get us copies. You are becoming an armchair whip.
Are you seconding the motion?
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Patrick Boama.
Mr. Speaker, I think the minority chief whip have given the indication. Until there is a clear indication from our back that they have the report, we are not seconding the motion. And Mr. Speaker, it must be on record that there is nothing on our screen. There is no report on our screen. So it's not accurate when the minority whip says that we have the report. What we have here is just the order paper, the business statement, and nothing more. So if we are supporting a motion, to what? We don't have copies.
No. I believe now we have enough report. Yes, Honorable Patrick Boama.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion to support for the adoption of the report of the Appointments Committee on the present appointment of the following: Mr. Ali Adolf as the Minister Designate for the Northern Region, Mr. John Kwejo Japon for the Oti regions, James Gunu for the Volta region, and Rita Akosua Awate for the Eastern region. Mr. Speaker.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker. I believed when the procedure is set down, we need to follow the procedure. I have moved the motion. I present the committee's report before they come in to second and then support the adoption of the report. So, Mr. Speaker, may I be permitted to present the report?
Go ahead. I thought we've done that.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, with the permission to move the motion jointly, I will then move to present the report also jointly. The fifth and the sixth reports jointly. Mr. Speaker, the fifth report is on His Excellency the President's nomination for appointment as ministers, the following people: Mr. Ali Adolf John as Minister for Northern Region, Mr. John Kojo Japon as Minister for Oti Region, Honorable James Gunu as Minister for Volta Region, Ms. Rita Akosua Awate as Minister for Eastern Region. Mr. Adolf John, the following questions were posed and answers were provided. Mr. Speaker, there was question on addressing the issue of KIA headquarters and rural urban migration. There was also questions on initiatives to improve the economy and alleviate poverty among the youth of the northern region. Mr. Speaker, there was a question on enhancing irrigation for farms in the northern region, addressing post-harvest losses, addressing issues relating to witchcraft camp in the northern region. Questions were posed to him on promoting peace and harmony among the tribes in the northern region, how he's going to address the social amenity challenges in the northern region. And Mr. Speaker, many more questions were posed to him. Mr. Speaker, the next person to appear before the committee was Mr. John Kojo Japon. Mr. Speaker, questions regarding the role of regional minister, youth empowerment through agro-business, uplifting agriculture in the region, addressing conflict in Nkwanta town, improving connectivity in the Oti region, managing the cultural diversity in the region, among others, were posed to him. Mr. Speaker, Honorable James Gunu for Volta region was asked the following questions. Alleged politically motivated attack on honorable members of parliament, ensuring safety and security in the region, protecting the region's coastal belts and addressing tidal waves, promoting tourism in the region, boosting internally generated funds, IGF, in the district assemblies, addressing complaints on fund management between DCEs and MPs, among others, were asked. Mr. Speaker, the questions posed to Ms. Rita Akosua Awate were as follows. Balancing PhD studies with ministerial responsibilities, collaborations with members of parliament and stakeholders, enhancing capital for MMDAs, addressing chieftaincy disputes in the Eastern region, protecting river bodies in the Eastern region regarding Galamsey, regulating sand winning activities in the Eastern region, promoting tourism in the Eastern region, reducing crime rates in the Eastern region, among others, were posed. Mr. Speaker, I would urge the Hansard Department to capture the entire report, particularly the answers provided as having been read by me. Mr. Speaker, I will then move to the sixth report, which is on Honorable Mubarak Muntaka. Mr. Speaker, questions were posed regarding review of security services recruitment by the prior administration, the quota system of recruitment on regional basis, enhancing professionalism in security agencies, addressing promotion processes and posting in the security agencies, measures to address small arms proliferation in the country, addressing perception of transfer as punishment, ensuring non-partisanship within the security services, collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy, and Rural Affairs, leadership in the agencies under the Ministry of Interior, brutality of citizens in police custody, welfare issue of security agencies, stakeholder engagement to repose trust in the security agencies in Ghana, among others, were posed. Mr. Speaker, I will equally urge the Hansard Department to also capture the 6th report as having been read by me. Mr. Speaker, I will then proceed to put the conclusion of the 2 reports together and to inform the House that the committee proposed for consideration of this House by consensus that this House adopt the committee's report and approve the undermentioned minister designates as ministers for the respective ministries. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Yes, let's now invite Honorable Patrick Boama to second the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to second the 5th and 6th reports of the Appointments Committee. Mr. Speaker, since they are consensus reports, I'll make some few comments on our colleague for Asawase, who is the Minister Designate for the Interior Ministry. Mr. Speaker, we all know the role of the Minister of Interior as being the chief custodian of our internal security. Underneath, you have a lot of security agencies that he controls, including the Narcotics Control Commission. Mr. Speaker, he answered questions satisfactorily on narcotics and the air lidar he's supposed to bring to the House for approval for the implementation of the narcotics or the medicinal cannabis implementation under the Narcotics Control Act. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, our colleague also distinguished himself when asked questions about security around Boko, the proliferation of small arms, promotions into the security services, and some other related activities on NADMO. We believe as a House that we've worked with Honorable Muntaka, the member for Asawase. We know of his competences, we know of his passion for the job as a member of Parliament, both within and without, and we have no doubt as a House. And on our side, we thank the President for nominating him to serve in his cabinet, and we wish him the very best. On the 5th report, Mr. Speaker, I was just watching TV at the cafeteria, and I saw the Minister Designate for the Volta region with the President Aho, and here we are debating a consensus report on him. I don't know in which capacity is there. Maybe he knows that he's got the numbers on his side to approve of him. I also saw Nabu Kodo, the former Prime Minister for the Western Togoland, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that's just by the way. Mr. Speaker, they answered questions that straddles both regions, or all the 4 regions. Challenges that members of Parliament face with regional ministers, or regional ministers do face, are the fact that they don't have even budgetary allocations. They always rely on allocations made to them from the Office of the President. Challenges with their MMDCs who feel independent in the performance of their duties. And the challenges members of Parliament do have with MMDCs who are under his watch and control. They also answered questions on regional security, chieftaincy issues, land disputes, and what have you. And also their determination to see to the cultivation of local raw materials to support local industries. We urge the regional ministers to walk the talk and ensure that they perform in accordance with the functions that they've been bestowed upon by various legislations and the Constitution of this country. Mr. Speaker, not to belabor the point, I wish all the regional minister nominees the very best and success in their respective regions. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the two motions have been moved and they have been seconded. It is now before the House for consideration. Because today is Friday, we will restrict ourselves to 2 contributors from each side. 2, then we come to leadership. And even with 2, we have to work around 5 minutes. Once you get the opportunity, please, your contribution should be around 5 minutes. So 2 from each side. The majority side have already given their list to me, but I think from minority side, I'll call from, yes, let him start from you, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I rise to speak on the 6th report of the Appointments Committee on His Excellency's, the President's nomination for appointment as Minister of Interior. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Muntaka has been a darling and an asset in this House and also for his constituents in Ashanti region as a whole. Honorable Muntaka is my neighbor, and then he borders the Kwabri East. And you have seen from his records in this House that he has excelled himself, even in Ashanti region, amongst where we see that he's in a den of lions, where he's in the midst of a lot of opposition MPs. But through it all, Honorable Muntaka has excelled in everything that he does and has been a beacon of light and hope for himself, for opposition, and for his compatriots as well. A particular mention where I would like the Honorable Minister to focus is on the security services. I think a lot has been said on the new recruits that went through the previous government, and a lot of people are sitting on tenterhooks as to their fate, even as now they are in training. And even as we know that government is a continuing business, I would like the Honorable Minister, when in office, to assure these people that they are all Ghanaians and they all deserve to be employed into the forces as well. On the subject of prison reforms, a lot of people, when they go back, when they return from prison, turn back hardened, more hardened than they were before they went into prison. And this happens when, the rehabilitation process in the prisons is not adequately done. And you see that 80% of people, return from prison and then they go back to prison. And I would like to implore and plead with the Honorable Minister that when he is in government, when he's confirmed, he should ensure that the rehabilitation process that goes in prisons are well done and well thought through before it goes. I would like to say and congratulate the Honorable Minister again for his nomination, and I know fairly well that this House will endorse him and confirm him as the next Minister of Interior. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Member for Kwabri East. So let me invite Honorable Ladi Ayi Ayamba. Honorable, you speak around 5 minutes.
Pardon me, Mr. Speaker.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will try as much as I can. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank His Excellency the President for the nominations that he has made to our regions and to the Ministry of Interior. I congratulate those ministers who have been nominated, and I want to just delve a bit into that of Northern Region because of the issues there. I listened to him carefully, and the issue of Kayaye, which has been always something that I have cherished to talk and listen to came up. His response was very good, was excellent. And I just want to urge him that if he is listening to me, he should stand by it that he is going to ensure that we have jobs in our various regions to enable the youth, especially the women, the girl child, to stay back in the northern region, whichever part they come from, and work rather than come to Accra. And that we do not in any way wish that they come down to Accra thinking that because there are a few hostels that were built, they should leave home and then come here and carry goods. It's better they work at home. So you should stick to it. The issue of witchcrafts, I have been to most of those camps when I was chairperson for gender. Mr. Speaker, it is not the best at all for the old women, people who simply cannot do anything for themselves. He should try as much as he can to work with the chiefs and elders and traditional rulers, others who are there, the queen mothers, to support them, because they find it difficult to go back to where they were brought from, to those camps. Mr. Speaker, the issue of chieftaincy problems, he said he would dialogue with them, and he would talk and have some discussions, collaborate with them, the security services and what have you. It's becoming an eyesore, and it's really pathetic. Some of us, when we sit and we listen to these things, it's quite worrying. This isn't how it was. Let us understand one another so that we can live together. Then we have a lady that is for Eastern region. I congratulate her directly because she is one of us, the women. And I just want to say that she should work and work hard. She shouldn't relent on her effort. She should study and ensure that she is working as expected and shouldn't disappoint His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the policies that are being put in place. She should work. She shouldn't let it be like, after all, we've given to a woman. That is what pains me. I'm hurt when I see that. It shouldn't be like a woman has also been given. No, she should work as much as she can, even work better than the men. Excuse me, I'm not against any man. Mr. Speaker, now I wish to talk a little too about Honorable Muntaka. Congratulations, my dear brother. You have worked hard. You deserve it. Your leadership roles have spelled it all out. I have been in this house with you for not less than 12 years, and I know how hard you have worked. I know how you have exhibited your skills. I remember and I recall when you had to lead us to ensure that at least while we were in opposition, we were still able to make sure that we had a speaker. Please continue fighting hard. Ensure that you do not think of sidelining. Don't sideline, but do the right thing. It's a very sensitive area. It's an area where if you are not careful, people will begin zooming in, and I think you know it better. Talking and saying whatever. Please ensure that you work hard. Ensure that your leadership skills are put out more, and make sure that you do the needful. The police service have always been out there. Always. We are always and always having issues. I will be grateful if you can ensure that you dialogue with them, work as team members, and ensure that their name is uplifted.
Thank you.
I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I wish Honorable Muntaka all the best. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Let me give it to Member for Tepa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Honorable Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak for his appointment. I know Honorable Muntaka is a very hard-working personality. His human relations to everybody is very good. We know how we relate to everybody, no matter your political party you belong to, and I wish him well. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to draw Honorable Muntaka's attention to Act 927, which states, among others, that there shall be a National Disaster Management Fund. Why am I drawing his attention? Sometimes NADMO staffs go to disaster scenes and they are sometimes attacked. They are sometimes prevented from carrying out their normal duties. Why? Because in carrying out their response activities and doing need assessments, some people think after the need assessment there will be no relief items, and therefore they prevent them from doing so. But that is not the fault of the NADMO staffs. It is as a result of financial problems, the late release of funds to NADMO. That is why those things happen. So I want to draw his attention that the Act talks about the source of funding to the National Disaster Fund, and that is through the 3% of District Assembly's Common Fund. So I'm appealing to him to look at it so that NADMO staff can carry on their preventive and reactive responsibilities without any hindrance. Mr. Speaker, the Mid-Country Immigration Training Institution in Ghana for Ghana Immigration Service is situated at Tepa in my constituency. The traditional authorities has released a big land to National Immigration Service. I want to appeal to the Honorable Minister to help Ghana Immigration Service to secure funds to fence and protect the land from encroachment. With this, I'm done. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Now, we turn to Zerula Ibrahim, Saraga West, Saraga South. 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the motion considering the President's nominee, 4 for regional minister positions and 1 for the Interior Ministry. Mr. Speaker, the Northern Regional Minister designate, Honorable Adolph Ali, attended the vetting and acquitted himself creditably. Mr. Adolph demonstrated his deep knowledge about the region, the northern region, and the intricacies of balancing politics, religion, chieftaincy, and tribes and clans, and gave the committee the assurance that he was going to deploy his well-known and well-attested diplomatic skills to ensure that conflict in any part of the region will be eliminated. Mr. Speaker, for those of us who know Honorable Adolph at close range, we take his word, we know how serious-minded he is, and we know that he has the capability to deliver on his mandate. I can only wish him well. Mr. Speaker, on the Interior Minister designate, our leader, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, equally acquitted himself very well before the vetting committee. And in addition to giving us responses that addressed a lot of technical issues within the Interior Ministry, he also spiced his responses with a lot of anecdotes that really brought home governance to the barest minimum for the understanding of the ordinary Ghanaian. Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, for those of us who entered this house in the 8th Parliament, demonstrated his leadership skills, he never went through the chamber without stopping by us at the back bench to check on how we were doing. He actually had the habit of always entering the chamber through the back bench. He would spend not less than 3 to 4 minutes talking to us, pepping us up, and encouraging us. For those of us who had opportunity to serve with him on the appointments committee, Honorable Muntaka mentored us. He guided us. He told us the appropriateness of some questions and inappropriateness of other questions. I, for example, as a member of the then appointments committee, was told by Honorable Minister not to ask the then Minister Designate for Fisheries, Honorable Hawakumsen, a question. He told me the same thing when Honorable Nitiwo appeared before the committee. And when I asked why, he reminded me that Honorable Hawakumsen, I should remember that she was from my constituency. Honorable Nitiwo was my neighbor, and he could create confusion for me if I got on his wrong side. This is leadership. And today we can attest to how invaluable those advisors were. Mr. Speaker, for everyone who attended or watched Honorable Muntaka's vetting, there was one phrase that ran through, and I tried to count the number of times until I lost count. At every turn, he referred to the national interest. Everything for him is about the national interest. And I remember, as new entrants to this house, he reminded us to be guided by the national interest. And today, it ran through almost all his responses. Indeed, the minority leader, Honorable Afenyomakin, had occasion to commend him for his sincerity and truthfulness. Honorable Muntaka showcased great knowledge in his ministry, a ministry that carries all the security agencies of this country, from the police to the fire service, to the prison service, to immigration.
Thank you.
He told us that he was going to ensure that these agencies were properly retooled. And I'm sure any MP who heard Honorable Muntaka will be relieved, because it gives assurance that he's going to take off the burden of these agencies running to MPs to seek support and resources for their agencies. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate all nominated ministers. I wish them all the best. And to Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, I said, Mungo de ma Allah.
Thank you very much. Now we turn to the leadership.
Mr. Speaker, on our part leadership, I will yield to Honorable Nyindam, except to add that under Order 63.1, the last comment of our sister should properly be interpreted for Hansard. If you look at Order 63.1, Mr. Speaker. So I yield to Honorable Nyindam for leadership.
Honorable Nyindam.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and thank leadership for the opportunity given to me to speak on their behalf. Let me use this opportunity to congratulate my boss, Honorable Muntaka, and let me place on record that he's the longest serving chief whip in Ghana's parliament. And it's not for nothing that he was vetted this morning. The House has to suspend its rules and to approve him the same day. It shows that he's demonstrated leadership as a chief whip. And those of us who happen to also serve as chief whip, we are very proud of him. Like others have said, you are going to a ministry that almost all security agencies are under you. I know you have what it takes to shepherd and to provide Ghanaians security both day and night. We know you are capable, and that is what we expect from you. Mr. Speaker, concerning small arms in the hands of individuals, I want the minister to take this issue very seriously. Because if you look at the just ended elections and previous elections, you will realize that even when men in uniform were not wielding arms, most of our foot soldiers who went to attack places were carrying arms. And this is a very dangerous thing. You must look at it because it is a recipe for disaster. One other thing I was expecting maybe to hear from my Honorable Chief Whip has to do with members of Parliament. It is true that we have police. Every member of Parliament is entitled to police now. But unfortunately, in the night, it's a different thing altogether. So I want Honorable Minister to take a look at that issue because the attacks first goes to members' houses. And I don't want to remind this House about the sad issues that happened to a colleague of ours here, where in his home, unfortunately, he lost his life. So I want to encourage him to look at it very well and try to see how best he can support security in that regard. Mr. Speaker, let me also use the opportunity to congratulate the regional ministers, the OT regional minister, the Northern regional minister, the Eastern regional minister, and then the Volta regional minister. I also want to urge the Northern regional minister especially, just like my colleague said, the witchcraft accusations. It is one of the serious issues in the northern part of Ghana, especially northern region, where unfortunately people have been moved away from their traditional homes. Families have been brutalized because one is suspected to be a witch or a wizard. These situations need much attention. I also want to urge the OT regional minister to take a critical look about the conflict in Nkwanta North, Nkwanta itself, that is Nkwanta South. It is a very, very, very devastating issue. And I want to urge him not to sit down. He should look at that conflict very well, try as much as possible to bring peace to Nkwanta so that the people in Nkwanta and its environs, including the OT region itself, can enjoy some kind of peace. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to congratulate the nominees. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much, Honorable Yindam. Now the majority leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to add my voice to the motion to approve the nominees for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Mr. Speaker, I will start with my boss, Honorable Muntaka. In fact, I have worked with him and I have never regretted. Because when I came in first to this chamber, he called and said, sit in the chamber at least 2 hours and learn. The chamber itself is a university of its own. If you can sit for just 2 hours in this chamber, you will learn a lot, because from archaeology to zoology passes through this chamber. And I took his advice and make sure every day I spend 2 hours in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, I spend more than 2 hours at least. Mr. Speaker, he has been sent to the Ministry of Interior. There is something that is missing, and I don't know how we will correct it. We have villages that don't have access to communication. They don't have network. So they apply, even if they reply them to come to training or to come to the camp, they don't even get access to the information. And such villages are there, especially when you get to Adan, there is no network. A lot of the villages, my island communities, so a lot of them love to be in this security, but because there is no network, they are cut off. Minister, let's find a way so that everybody in Ghana will enjoy our security services. Mr. Speaker, one thing that baffles me a lot is whenever they are recruiting the people, there are general duties. Some of them are just going to arrest thieves. And they say they should bring masks. If you are going to arrest thief, what does the arresting of thief got to do with masks?
You do calculations.
Because when you see the thief, you are not going to work any mathematics there before you arrest the thief. So, Mr. Speaker, those who are strong to arrest the thieves, because when you go to the bungalows and they hear that there are robbers there, they will all hide in their rooms. When the robbers are gone, before they will come out with their dogs and say, where are the thieves? Where are the robbers? By that time, they've gone. Let us recruit those who can arrest them and stop disturbing them with masks so that they can do the work for us. Mr. Speaker, some of the things are rare, but we don't want to accept it. Mr. Speaker, the rest of the ministers, they are capable. So this House together, we should all approve them so that they can go and serve the nation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honorable members, at the conclusion of the contributions, the question is all those in favor of the motion listed in today's order paper as motion 10, as well as motion listed 3 in the addendum paper. All those in favor say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, it's obvious the ayes have it. The motion is hereby adopted. And that this Honorable House has approved His Excellency the President's nomination of Mr. Ali Adolf G. John as Minister Designate for the Northern Region, Mr. John Kojo Japan as Minister Designate for OT Region, Mr. James Gunu as Minister Designate for Volta Region, Ms. Rita Akosia Awate as Minister Designate for Eastern Region, and Honorable Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka as Minister Designate for Ministry of Interior. Honorable members, on behalf of the House, let me extend our congratulatory message to all the ministers designate, to the regions as well as our own, Honorable Mubarak Muntaka. Honorable, we wish you well. Leadership. Yes, Honorable Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to congratulate the approved ministers and on their behalf thank the committee and the entire House for approving them unanimously. Mr. Speaker, I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman of the Appointment Committee. Leadership, any indication? Leader. Leader. Leader of the House, if you indulge me, today I understand is World Education. Is it World Education Day? So if you indulge me, we can take that statement. You have so many statements, but you can take that one alone. It's a statement that commemorates with the day. So if you permit me, anyway, I mean, well, honorable members, I think the pressure of the House is to adjourn the House. Monday, Tuesday. Honorable members, so we will adjourn the House to Tuesday, Tuesday 12 noon. Tuesday 12 noon. Honorable members, once again, let him thank you for your cooperation in spite of the hitches. The House stands adjourned.
We are down for the week.
Yes. I'm good, Martin. I'm going.